Did you know that many dog owners are petting their dog's head the wrong way without even realizing it? What feels affectionate to us can actually be uncomfortable for our dogs, and in some cases, it could even harm the trust and bond you've worked so hard to build. Petting your dog's head might seem harmless, but there are certain things you need to watch out for. So today, we're going to dive into what you need to know before you pet your dog's head again. Your pup will definitely thank you. And for more secrets about your doggy, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. Although we see petting a dog's head as a simple, affectionate gesture, dogs experience it very differently. For them, it can feel unnatural and even stressful. Think about it. We're much larger than dogs, and when we reach for their head, it's often from above, a gesture that can seem invasive or intimidating. From a canine perspective, having something suddenly descend toward their face can be unsettling, almost as if they're being loomed over. Dogs are sensitive to body language, and direct movements toward the face can be interpreted as a sign of dominance or even a threat, especially if they don't see it coming. Furthermore, head petting puts pressure on an area that many dogs don't instinctively enjoy being touched. Unlike humans, who often show affection through head pats or face touches, dogs prefer more neutral areas like the sides or back. For them, head petting can feel uncomfortable because it's an area they can't easily control or protect, which triggers a natural instinct to move away or brace themselves. Some dogs may tolerate head petting, particularly if they trust you, but tolerating isn't the same as enjoying. If your dog regularly ducks away, flattens their ears, or shows other subtle signs of discomfort, it's likely they're not as fond of head petting as you might think. The issue isn't just the act itself, but the cumulative effect it can have on your relationship with your dog. Repeated instances where your dog feels uncomfortable, even if it doesn't escalate to more obvious signs like growling or pulling away, can build up over time, slowly eroding their sense of security around you. It's a small, easily overlooked interaction that can have bigger consequences for your bond. Many dog owners think that if their dog isn't growling or pulling away, they must be enjoying the affection. But the truth is, dogs have a lot of subtle ways of telling us they're uncomfortable, often long before they resort to more obvious signs like growling. Let's take a look at some of the common signals your dog might be giving you to say they're not a fan of head petting. The most direct sign is when your dog physically moves their head or body away when you reach for them. This is their way of clearly saying, "No thanks." If you notice your dog ducking out of the way or walking off, it's a sign that they're not enjoying the interaction. Your dog's ears are a great indicator of how they're feeling. If their ears are pulled back flat against their head, that's a sign of stress or discomfort. Even if they're staying still, or allowing the petting, their ears being pinned back, is a clue that they're not as relaxed as you think. These are classic displacement behaviors, small actions dogs do when they're feeling uneasy or trying to cope with stress. If your dog starts licking their lips or yawning right after you reach for their head, it's likely because they're not comfortable with the situation. If your dog starts to roll their eyes to the side, showing the whites of their eyes, known as whale eye, it's a sign they're feeling tense or uneasy. This is especially noticeable when a dog isn't turning their head, but is still trying to keep an eye on you or your hand. Sometimes dogs don't move away or give very clear signals, but you might notice their body becoming rigid or stiff. This is another way they might be telling you they're not enjoying the petting. Pay attention to how their body feels under your hand. If they're tense, it's a sign they're not comfortable. Remember, these signs aren't always dramatic, but they're your dog's way of communicating discomfort. By paying attention to their subtle signals, you can avoid interactions that might make them uneasy, and instead focus on ways to pet them that they truly enjoy. Now that we've covered why head petting might not be your dog's favorite, let's talk about the right way to pet your dog. Instead of reaching directly over their head, approach from the side, as it's less intimidating and shows respect for their space. Start by gently petting the shoulders or side of the body, watching for signs of comfort like a loose body, wagging tail, or leaning into your hand. If your dog seems relaxed, you can move your hand down their spine to the base of the tail, an area many dogs enjoy being petted. Although head petting is usually off limits, behind the ears is an exception for dogs you've built trust with, as it's a sensitive spot they often appreciate. To ensure your dog is truly enjoying the interaction, keep petting sessions short and gentle, giving them time to let you know when they've had enough. By following these simple steps, you'll not only avoid making your dog uncomfortable, but you'll also strengthen the bond you share. Petting is one of the most common ways we show love, and when done right, it can be a powerful tool for building trust and connection with your furry friend. Petting your own dog is one thing, but what about interacting with dogs you meet out in public? Whether it's a friendly dog at the park or a curious pup walking by, there are a few important steps to follow when petting someone else's dog. And just as importantly, how to advocate for your own dog when others approach them. Before you even think about petting a stranger's dog, the first rule is simple. Always ask the owner for permission. Even if the dog looks friendly and eager, they may not enjoy being approached by strangers. The owner knows their dog's temperament and can tell you whether it's safe or welcome to pet them. Never assume. It's just good manners and ensures the dog is comfortable. Once you have permission, don't rush in with your hand to pet the dog. Instead, offer your hand for the dog to sniff without actually touching them. Hold your hand a short distance away and wait. If the dog leans in, sniffs your hand, and seems curious or relaxed, it's a green light to proceed with petting. If they pull away or seem hesitant, respect that signal and don't force the interaction. Even when petting a stranger's dog, avoid going straight for the head or face. Focus on neutral areas like the shoulders or back, where the dog is less likely to feel threatened. Remember, this dog doesn't know you well, so they might not be as forgiving if you touch areas that make them uncomfortable. Keeping to the safe zones ensures a positive interaction for both you and the dog. On the flip side, when it comes to your own dog, you play an important role in advocating for their comfort. Not every stranger knows how to properly pet a dog, and it's up to you to set boundaries. If someone approaches your dog and asks to pet them, feel free to say yes, but don't hesitate to give clear instructions. A simple, "she prefers being petted on the shoulders," helps guide the interaction and ensures your dog feels at ease. And don't be afraid to say no. If your dog is nervous, reactive, or just not in the mood, it's perfectly okay to politely decline. Something as simple as, "he's not feeling social right now," lets the person know without hurting feelings. Your dog's comfort and well-being should always come first. Sometimes people might approach your dog without asking first. In those moments, it's important to step in and take control. You can gently redirect the person's hand if they're reaching for your dog's head, or give them a friendly reminder like, "she's more comfortable with shoulder rubs." Most people who love dogs are happy to follow your lead when they know it's for your dog's benefit. By advocating for your dog in public and ensuring they only experience positive interactions, you're helping to reinforce their trust, not just in you, but in the world around them. And there you have it. If you're curious about why your dog often checks on you and what it means, be sure to check out our previous video for more insight. And as always, if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tips on understanding your dog's behavior. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.